Well, welcome to another episode of Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. We are here in beautiful Clam Bay, my first time here. I'm here with Mr. Dave Roberts, Mr. Rick Smith. We're here to talk Trunk 7. How many years have you guys been doing this?
This is actually our 10th year, but we missed a couple due to the pandemic.
And moved it last year. We were there the first night, and then something happened with the weather, and you lost the weekend, but it was a great first night.
The night was crazy.
Yeah.
It was the Stanfields and a bunch of other groups from the Eastern Shore, his boys and the Bolts and a bunch of groups. It was fabulous. But the weather prevented the next day, and unfortunately we had to cancel that Saturday.
Yeah, I remember that.
A little heartbroken, actually.
We had a great time on the Friday night, though. It was a little windy, a little rainy, but everybody was a great vibe, great crowd. You moved it up to the Superstore parking lot in the back corner there.
Yes.
Very good venue. Nice beer garden on one side, the tent for the band on the other. Fantastic. So, for everybody that doesn't know, the festival is when?
The festival is July 19th and 20th. And as you said, it's in
Porter's Lake Superstore parking lot.
Awesome. And yeah, that's when it is.
So Dave's got a poster here. So in case you guys don't know, and I'm going to get you to talk about this because stuff like this
In 3D.
in 3D. I feel like we're on
SCTV.
SCTV.
Exactly.
So for a thing like this, I mean, you guys do it, and then literally it's a couple weeks off, and then you start it up again to figure out what you're going to do the next year.
For the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's a yearly. It takes all year to put the whole thing together, and we have a fabulous committee of 8 people now, and a lot of teachers.
Mostly educators, yeah.
Mostly educators. That's
That's
nice.
interesting. Speak about that a little bit because it's hard to find volunteers. I mean, I worked in minor hockey for 16 years, and a good volunteer was gold. You try to treat them as good as you can. 8 is actually a pretty big number, right?
It is.
For a group.
It is. We've done pretty well, and they're mostly educators, but they're fabulous people, as you know.
Yeah.
Because volunteers are like that. We have a non-profit group,
Okay.
and the idea is to break even. And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But
you keep going.
But we keep right on. We put our heads down and we keep on moving forward because it's important.
And full-on swag. You're wearing your hat. You're wearing your T-shirt. Rick's got his hoodie. So when you go there, you can get some swag, which is really cool. Talk about who we're going to see there this year because you guys have a top to bottom action-packed roster.
It is great. It's great.
It's a good one.
Friday night's kind of our rock night.
Yep.
And it starts at 6 p.m. on Friday the 19th. And we have...
Head of State.
Thank you. Rebel Prospects.
Rebel Prospects.
Crazy boys.
We're having
man.
a
Love
crazy
those
guys.
boys. Yeah.
Stone Brothers.
His kids.
Yep.
My boys.
Great band.
We got those other Eastern Shore guys, the Roval.
The Bolts.
Roll
I just
boys.
call them the Bolts.
The Bolts.
Queenie
That's
Smith
all
and the
I
boys.
like.
That's
Queenie
those guys.
Stevens.
Queenie Stevens.
That's those guys.
Yeah.
And then, Dally Van Gogh.
Dally Van Gogh. I've been
It's a
trying
big
to
one.
get
We're
them
very
for a
excited
little
about
while.
this one.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great act.
Yep.
Love them.
And
Love their
Campbell and
tunes.
Johnson in the end. Right?
Campbell and
Campbell and
Johnston.
There you
Headline.
go. No time. You're not taking any time off on the Friday night, which
Big
is great.
Friday night.
No, it goes right on through, baby.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Saturday, another action-packed day.
Saturday, the thing about Saturday, it's going to start at 11:30 on the Saturday the 20th, and it starts with our youth showcase.
Yes.
And that is it's something that's kind of dear to our hearts and important because as a lot of educators, we want to make sure the kids get opportunities to get on a good stage,
Right.
have a good sound, also take part in the festival, meet other professional musicians, have little interactions with them, and talk about songwriting, talk about live presence on a stage and stuff. So it's a great thing. But that starts at 11:30 for the kids. That goes to like around 4 o'clock, I think it is. I'm still fidgeting a little bit on the schedule right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
It's all good.
I got to put that out tonight. But that has to be on tonight, by the way. I'm gonna get in trouble with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But
You are booked, we promise. We
I'll
promise you are booked.
I'll work it all up. I'll work it out and put it up tonight. But and then we start with a whole pile of groups. We got Oliver Bray is there, new singer from the Eastern Shore. He's just down the road from my house.
Right on.
just down the road from
So if
our
he needs a
house.
drive, you can give him a ride. So that's pretty cool, right?
I'd do it.
Yeah,
It's
right.
possible.
Right.
And after that, who is it? Let me have a look. Because there's so many people there. Hold it. Let's go through this. Let's go through this. Asaville, yes.
So we did a festival with Ashif and his daughter a year and a half ago, Riverfest down in Fox Mountain. They were great. They were awesome. Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah. Lights out.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Asaf is since Mirror, and what a great album that was.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember the
Which
Mirror record?
Our friend Mark Horton produced.
Mark did do that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're playing the
The
6 degrees
connections.
to Kevin Bacon here,
The
right?
connections.
Or to Mark.
The
Horton.
connections.
Yeah, we were talking about Mark before we started recording.
Yeah, and his daughter, Abba, is going to be there. It's
Yeah.
just very nice. And that'll be fabulous because he's so good. But after that, we got Lindsay Meisner. Not the band. She wasn't able to bring the band
Right.
this time. And she's, I don't know if you know Lindsay, but she's a fabulous singer.
I've never met her.
An amazing
Big,
singer.
big voice. Think Janis Joplin. It's just,
Nice.
it's incredible. She's a great
Perfect.
singer.
Great singer. After that, Lisa Richard is going to be there.
Okay.
And Lisa was just over at the Cavity.
This past weekend.
Cavi? Is that it? Cavi?
Yeah. Which and with somebody we'll cover that in a couple minutes, but yeah,
Okay, all right.
we're gonna do another
Fair enough.
touch point here.
Fair enough. And then after that, I'm just putting a schedule together in my head here. Then comes Brooklyn Blackmore,
Okay.
releasing all kinds of brand new things just in the last week, actually. She's and we love Brooklyn. And she's been a lot of these people have been at the festival a number of times, and Brooklyn's been there a number of times. After that is the local boys, Foggy Road, Right Swipes. Kind of a combination of two bands in that, but they're the local boys, and they're going to warm it up for David Miles.
David Miles.
Okay.
And David Miles is,
Yeah, we saw him at Sticks.
I don't know what you think David Miles is. And is he a great songwriter and a great singer and that? But when you come and see David Miles live, you realize what kind of an entertainer he is and how he's stunning.
Well,
I
one
love
of my bandmates, Leaf Fleming Smith, is playing with David. So there
Leaf
you go.
is coming.
Yeah.
Leaf is coming.
Leaf's awesome. He's fantastic.
Yes, so that's the Saturday night. That's
Yeah. Well, you're
David.
forgetting somebody though.
I am. I'm not just talking about David. David's our headliner for the weekend.
Yep.
So it's great. And I gotta make sure I get Shore Water and Freedom Self Storage. Shore Water and Freedom Self Storage in there. And I did. So thank you guys for everything you do for us.
Oh, you forgot somebody else too.
I didn't. I have to say that.
Look good.
No, I know. I know.
Right there.
Oh.
Right there. Holding the camera.
This girl right here, Michelle Ryder. This guy right here, Sean McKenna. So that, and they're going to finish off Saturday night.
Are we now? Well, that's interesting.
They're
That's good
finishing
to know.
off. You're finishing the night. So
There might be some surprises because I'll tell you what, we're going to do a couple of our songs that are doing really well. I know you've been following along, but
yes.
She's right now collectively over 150,000 views on YouTube, which is crazy. So
That
we're
is
really
crazy.
happy about that. She just did some press in the UK yesterday, so all kinds of cool stuff going.
Oh.
So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little break here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some more talking right after this. Welcome back to Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. Dave Roberts, Rick Smith, Trunk 7. So one of the things I want to cover is the youth piece, because we talked about that last year when I interviewed you. And really, we're going to start walking forward. We're going to look all gitchy and stuff. Really, there's not a lot of that going on. And we were talking as we were getting ready to shoot about the fact that there's really a gap. So the old guys are there, but there's not a lot of young guys. So I mean, you guys are really kind of starting to backfill that by doing some of this, maybe.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the mandate of the festival, is to make sure that we're promoting all sorts, all ages,
Yeah.
and also, as you say, fill in the gap there
Yeah.
with the young kids coming up, and so they can get an opportunity to see what's up.
Right on.
And I think that's a fabulous thing. Our buddy Nick Patapaw and his company, Marine Drive Talent, they have a lot of these kids, and Nick works with them a lot, and Rick and I have worked with some of them over the years, and they're as you say, filling in the gaps
Yep.
is going to get these kids to different places in that. And there are some very talented kids out here.
Well,
Really
and I mean,
talented.
your son. So I saw them at Monty's when they won the Battle of the Bands
That's right,
2 years ago.
Yep.
And did a fantastic job. And when I saw them at Truck 7 last year, the thing that freaked me out, they did Addicted to That Rush by
Yeah,
Mr. Big. Some throwback stuff, right? And I'm sitting there, and anytime I introduce somebody that's of that era, that's in there, I always ask, why is this music still so popular? And they talk about how these kids have parents that were into it.
Exactly.
So I mean, great example,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So did they get that album? Have they been into recording any of that stuff yet? or-
Yeah, they're just about done that record. They've been having a great time working with Bill Thomas on this one. So they've taken a lot of time.
Yep.
They didn't want to rush it. So they're about a year in
Nice.
actually recording the album. They're planning on release in August, as a matter of fact.
Fantastic.
Got a video shot. They're just waiting to get that out there. So.
Well, they better hit me up so I can promote that.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
I will promote
of
the
course.
crap out of it because I was there when they won, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
So next month, you corrected me. I said over 35. You said actually 41. There's a little band that anybody that you see that kind of plays our scene for the last long time was influenced by a little band called Titan. And Titan is going to be playing at Rock the Harbor.
I'm a good influence on people. Just ask this guy.
He's a good influence on people.
Well, it's crazy because it's anybody that I talk to, they always say Dave Roberts. Jackie Smith says Dave Roberts is the reason I did. All these guys. And I mean, I know you. I remember seeing you in the trees. I remember seeing you in Bats in the Belfry. I've seen Grunt a bunch of times. But Titan was that band that, I never got to see them. I was, too young to get in the bar. Sorry about that. However, I saw footage, and it was like, I definitely see why you guys are such an influence on the scene. Just talk about that band for a little bit.
We were influenced by other groups that were down here.
Right.
Talk about Richie Oakley and Soma,
Right.
those groups, and Frank McKay, and so many other groups down here that have been fabulous. So we were influenced by other groups. It's just a progression, and I don't know if anybody should really follow our lead at any time, really. But if you want to, you can. But it was a great group. We had lots of great players in that. I'm a little sad because we don't have our great buddy Mo Lozon, who was a spectacular talent. He was phenomenal. But he won't be there. But he's going to be there in our hearts.
So everybody that I talk to about Titan, and forget about Zapatas and all those, they always talk about the infamous show at Prince Andrew High School, right? Where Hendrickson brought in all kinds of lights and pyro, and I played that stage. I got my start on that stage. I still get goosebumps when I walk into that room. Do you remember that show?
I do.
Yeah?
I do remember that show. And I remember that show because we weren't playing a lot of our own material, but we were playing some of it.
Right.
And I remember that show because we played Roxy Roller. And that's ingrained in my head from that PA dance.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I do remember that though. But the better story than that, that means more to you, I guess, but the better story than that is the story where Peter Hendrickson was working with Bruce Nelson,
Yep.
my buddy, and John Biggs, who was one of the
Love John.
one of the bass players for Titan, along with Dana, who's with us there this summer, and they were playing in a band called Hooker, and
Was
Hooker,
Jackie in that?
No,
wasn't?
he might have been after.
Okay.
He might have been after.
Okay.
I'm not sure. This is the original version of Hooker
Okay.
with Bruce's brother Mike and Dwight Noggle on the drums.
Oh, yes.
The complete monster.
Yeah.
And anyway, they're playing, and I remember Dana Westall and Dana and I were sitting and I looked up on the stage and Bruce was playing. And I think he was singing Bowie or something. I forget now, but I just looked up there and we were looking for a guitar player. My buddy Jughead had just left the band. And we're looking for a guitar player, and I looked up and I said, gotta have that guy. Gotta have that little guy from Eastern Passage.
Eastern Passage, yes,
Anyway,
sir.
and then in the back of my head, I was thinking, I like the bass player, but I got a great bass player, don't need it. And then Dana left the band, and I said, I know where there's a good bass player.
Mr.
I know a
Biggs.
guy I want. But anyway, so I took two from that group, unfortunately. I hope they're not too mad with me. Dwight, don't get mad at me, for God's sake.
Probably over now.
I'd be in trouble. But the other thing about Peter was that was the third part, was that Peter had these flash pots going off there, and I said, we have definitely got to have that guy with the gunpowder on his hands and knees behind the thing, and smoke going through all of Prince Andrew, and it was all over the fire alarm. I don't know if the fire alarm went off, but they were worried he was going to. And it was just a thing of beauty. Okay, enough about Titan.
Well, no, so, and a couple little cords and cables and lights became Tortec East. So, I mean, we're covering a lot of bases here, right?
It kind of turned into something.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are opening this Saturday at Alderney Landing, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
4:45 on Saturday, August 17th.
So I don't even know if you can get tickets for that day yet. I'm told that Saturday is
Saturday
sold
is the high sales on Saturday. High sales for the weekend.
Yep.
But high sales on Saturday.
Because they want to come see this band sing, right? No question. Well, what's Dave Roberts gonna do? I'm
gonna do it.
I know you will, and I mean, I know there's some secrecy around who's going to be on there, but there's going to be you and Bruce and Dana are going to be the three main guys. So what can people expect from that show?
From that show, we're going to be playing a lot of our own old material, the Titan stuff that we wrote, and we're going to throw in select covers that we think meant something to people and meant something to us when we were playing them. So it's a bit of a combination. It's not a long set, but it's going to be a really jam-packed set, and it will be unforgettable for whichever way you look at it.
Right.
Could be good, could be bad.
It won't be bad.
It will be unforgettable.
But here's the one. Would you consider this maybe the period at the end of the sentence? After 41 years, you get to do it one last time with that group and mission accomplished? Is that a fair statement?
That's a very fair statement.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we got to go here. One last show to sort of shout out about Trunk 7. What do people need to know? How can they get tickets? All that.
You can go on to our website, which is trunk7.com.
Yep.
You can buy tickets through Ticket Pro, I believe it is. And or you can come at the show. Get your tickets ahead, because I was just looking at our sales there the other night, and we're selling lots of tickets there. So, and we do have a capacity that we can't go over. So make sure you get your tickets and get there. Don't be disappointed, because this is an unbelievable show with between all of these great acts that we have here, David Miles, Campbell and Johnston, your boys and the Volts and oh my goodness. You guys are going to be there.
I might even wear my good pants.
The good pants?
Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot, boys. Rick,
You betcha.
Dave, Rick, Barstools and Bandtalk, Rimshots and Sean. Peace out.